Welcome to episode 13, I think it is, of this Let's Play series of Dwarf Fortress. We're sort of going through tutorial style for it, but we're also playing a Let's Play as well, so a bit of gameplay. Now, I was just going to let my fortress build this first level, but there is a bit of a warning sign that something may be up. You can see over through here, our main area back over through here, this zone, all of the animals have scattered from here. We can see that they all just ran away, and I quickly paused the game, thought, okay, there's something up, something is wrong here. And we can see there also the little symbol coming off the yak. There's actually an indication that there's something has spooked it. And we don't know what it is, and that's always a bit of a worry. So let's just right-click there and have a bit of a look. So you can see here, the stray yak bull is overcome by terror. So it's now running. All of the animals ran from something that must be up through this side. Now, I haven't seen it. I don't know what it is, but something is out here, and that's what we have to avoid. So we've now got a bit of a problem. This is sort of, in one sense, your animals can be a bit of an early warning system. Do I want to send anyone else back out? I don't know if I do. I think what we might do is just lock the fortress down now, just so we can see what we're dealing with, and then we'll figure out what to do with this. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Could be anything. It could just be another animal, but we just don't know. But it's more likely going to be something sneaky and horrible and nasty. So we're going to be wanting to just lock everyone inside. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through and create a burrows. And the burrows is where we're going to then stop everyone from, they're only allowed in the burrows. Now, we were getting people coming back down, grabbing wood. There's one on through there. There's our diagnostician. We don't want her going up anymore. So she's probably got a job to do. She's going to construct building, yes. So we're going to now stop. So she's hauling bayberry wood logs. I don't want her up there at all. Now, back and through here as well. I'll just go to the burrows. Now, at the moment, we don't actually have any burrows. Now, a burrow is a designation of the areas in the fort that different things can happen. You can have multiple of them that do different things. You may have like a working group working way at the bottom of your fortress that really just doesn't need to go anywhere else. They can be assigned to that burrow just to work in that area, and that way their bedrooms and things can all be within that particular burrow. That just keeps them contained. So you can use them that way. I tend to only ever have one burrow, which is like a safety zone for my dwarves. And my safety zone is actually, so I'll start building this one now. I'm going to start, so you click and paint the area. Now, I'm hoping at some point this will actually then change, and we'll be able to sort of tweak what does go on with the burrows, and so that we can actually then end up having like a better way of these actually sort of working. Because at the moment you can only do it Z layer by Z layer. You can't do multiple areas, and in the other game you could. So it's just, where do I want my dwarves to have access to? And so I want them to have access to here. So I'll just start painting this little zone. So that's fine where we are through there. Let's just go and do that. Now I can change the colors. I tend to like the plus because it looks like a safety symbol. So I tend to have the plus in through there, and I tend to make it sort of like more of a brightish sort of green. That looks fine for what I normally would do with a burrow. You can change the colors. You've got your symbol, the symbol color, your background colors in through here as well. Again, I'm happy with the green, so I'll keep it there. But you can change it to whatever you want. So feel free to do that one between those two there. And then we just keep on painting. So we just keep on painting these in. Now I want that one, of course, to all be inside my burrow. That's the only real area. I'll just allow that as well, just so we've got that one included. It's only this area that they go to get water. This is quite important. I may have to change something else in here as well. I might just allow it to go a little bit out this way for now. I don't really want them all the way down to here. And we'll just keep on going on. I'll then just explain what does go on through this side. So we'll actually allow them to continue on up this way, just to keep on filling up this area, because we'll need them sort of working. And as we just go down, it's just, always make sure you've got more than what you need when you're doing this. But at this stage, that's all we need. And if, when you've done this, if you then sort of leave it on, you may find that you really do need to come back and reevaluate at some point, because sometimes you'll end up digging other areas in your fortress that you hadn't allowed when you did your first burrow. So we don't want this to be allowed. That's not part of the burrow, because that's the stairway in. So that one just goes into there. That's fine where that is. Similarly, we just don't want the other area placed in there, but we do need the staircase allowed. Just allow that a little bit. So then they'll then work. I might as well do this whole area. And so again, if like let's just say we built more workshops off the other side, and we didn't have we had the burrow activated, they wouldn't be able to go and work there. So quite often, if you sort of end up with issues where you're thinking, I don't know why something's not working, and if you had a burrow activated, then it's most likely going to be the burrow that will be the problem. Just grab that one as well, and that one, and then we've got all of this as well. Now this is going to be a big area that we're going to need to have like a lot of space for. So I'm just going to start sort of painting this one in. By the way, it can be easier just control and then just scroll your wheel back out. That way you can sort of go and think, okay, well, I'm going to probably need to have like massive areas for the bedroom. So let's just make it really big. So that can be like a big area. Again, it doesn't matter how big we make it. This area as well, I'm going to have temples and all sorts of things built in here. So let's just go and keep on building that one. Got that one as well, and I don't know what I'm going to do in here yet, so I'll just make them allowable as well, and that's pretty much all we need to do there. I'll just go back up through here. Is there any other layers that we really want to make sure that we do define? I think I might just make this into one big burrow. I'm just going to be careful I don't make this area through here allowable. And again, this area as well. Yeah, it is much easier doing it this way. Don't know what we're going to need there. And again, I'm not using that layer as such, but I'll just designate this area as well, just in case we may build other things back off this area. Eventually, I'll probably be able to keep this one where it is, but let's just keep that one where that. Oh, hang on, did I just remove all that? No, they're still all there. Good. And this is going to be just called Fortress. And so that is just our fortress, essentially. Now, this is a bit annoying, but we can't just say automatically assign people to it. And this is another gotcha. So to put your first lot in, and you have to put them on all individually in through here, unfortunately. So it's just a matter of just going through and clicking on them. But when you get new people, they won't be assigned to this. And so you can't just say put all citizens in the burrows. So you can see even our human bowmen, we can do that. I tend to leave them out, so that they can just go off and do their own job. So they'll go off and hunt if they can. Now, there's not much that they can do at this point in time anyway, so I'll just leave that one there. We've only got the one. Actually, no, I've got two of them. A human spearman and a human bowman. Let's just unselect those. So these should stay in the inn, ultimately. So we'll leave them where they are, because we're self-contained basically now down in the bottom of the fortress. We just have to make sure that everyone stays put, so that they can sort of stay where they are. Now we just go and right-click that one. I'll just zoom back in again. I said the default is to go all the way in and then just come back to. So I'll just do it at that location. That way it'll look a little bit like what yours may look like if you're running at 1080p. So a 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. So it should look about the same. Now we've got 16 have been assigned out of the 18. That's fine. This is a real trap. And when I've been live streaming, I've actually forgotten to do this at different times, and it's been fairly disastrous or potentially disastrous. So just be aware that it can be a really, really big problem. Now, you've got other things you can set up through here. So you can got things like, for example, toggle whether the workshop can source materials from outside the burrow or not. Now, I don't want them doing that one. So I don't want them going outside of the burrow to get what they need, which means they could end up outside to get some wood to bring it downstairs, and we don't want that when we've got this thing locked down. I can also have it so suspend this burrow. Assigned citizens will not respect burrow restrictions while a burrow is suspended, but all tasks within the burrow will still function. So what I can do is, at the moment, I'm trying to restrict everyone back into this burrow area, and I'm then just going to, when I'm done with it, rather than unassign everyone, I just go and essentially suspend the burrow, which means don't respect it anymore. But in this case, we're just going to do that. Now, when we have military will, when they're assigned and on station, they can go outside the burrow and do whatever else they have to do. So at this point in time, it's too dangerous for us to do anything. So we'll just go and do that. Now, the next thing we have is we do actually have the diagnostician is actually going off to do different things. And so I don't want her doing that at the moment. So she's going to haul baby wood logs. I'm just going to go and now, because I'm so worried about what's going on, there's a few things I can do. She may be coming in for here. Yeah, let's get this one here. So this item is being tagged by task and will not be used by other tasks. So if I go, and there's a few different things I can do with this. one thing is she'll go and grab that and then take it up the top to then go and build the other area. So let's just go through the various options we can then do to try to stop her before she goes back up. Now there may be other ones as well, like that one is, that one's not yet, that one is. So all of these have been assigned, they've been tasked to be used, and we don't want that at all. There may be even the ones outside have been tasked to be used as well. But we can do this a couple of different ways. I've got a lot of buildings that I need to get done up the top, including the removal. I'll just go back up the top here. This one here, I'm going to cancel the removal. So this one, there may be somebody, if we just go and have a look at the tasks. So what do we have? We've got storing item in stockpile, which is fine. That shouldn't be too bad, except for all these wood stockpile ones. But no one's really assigned to those. So if we go to the wood stockpile areas, these wood stockpile requirements are not really required. So let's just go and stop this one. So leave this menu and so let's recenter. Sorry, I'm going to go in over here to remove the current worker from the task. So I don't want the ranger doing that one. By the way, we haven't spoken about rangers and hunters. I don't think I've actually turned it off. We might have a look at that one. The woodcutter as well is going to the stone stockpile. That's fine because we don't really have any stone where they have to go and do anything about that one. Stone stockpile is fine. So we can sort of see what's going on through here. This one is going to dump an item. Again, it's only stone that I've got dumped. That one's going to go and dump another item as well. Then I've got all of these different walls that are being built. Now I know that all of these, so this is a planter that's also going up to build the wall. Let's stop this one because I'm assuming, if we just go to where this one is, yeah, this one is over here and going to go and pick up some wood logs to then go and build the top area. So we can go back through here and actually just go and stop them from actually doing that one. So this is our woodcutter and leather worker are going off. Sorry, that's a stone pile. Keep them going all the way down. You can see there's a lot of items for them to go and do at this point in time. There's the diagnostician as well, also going to build the wall. So I can just go and turn those off. Now, if I'm concerned about this wall building that they're building, and this is the only wall we've got being built, I can just go and suspend, rather than go and undo everything, I can just go and suspend all of this. So we'll just go back across, and that way we don't have to worry about it. Now we've also got other things coming up like the flooring that we had put up there. The rough limestone wall for deconstruction. Let's actually leave that one also on suspension. And then everything else is just making rock doors, cutting gems. Now the rough limestone wall through there, destroy building. Actually, that's destroy building. That's right. We've got construct. We want to stop. We also have destroy building. I'm just going to remove that one for now until we know that we're safe. Fill pond. Pen pasture, yeah. So this is now someone's going to have to go up and try to pick up these animals. I'm going to tell the animals to now come inside. So I'm going to go and build I'm sort of glad that it's been triggered because then at least we're going to know that there's a problem. So let's now just go back in through here. That should get rid of all of those requirements. They shouldn't continue on anymore. If we go and have a look, this one is now gone again. Like the actual task has now disappeared because we're no longer using it right now. And everyone should now come back inside, but we'll just double check what's going to go on here. Now, as far as the penning and pasturing of the animals, we do actually have a pen pasture in here, but it's not very good. The one that we want to use is this group in here. So we're just going to create a pen and pasture. Unfortunately, I've only got one piece of fungus on the floor, which is what they can eat. Nothing else in through here. I want to also just go and get all of these dumped because these are a problem. So let's just go and get those dumped as well. There's too many tasks at the moment for the dwarves to sort of do what they have to do. Our drink stocks are coming up now that we've sort of turned off the drinking of the wine in the previous episode. Let's just go back into pens and pastures in through this side, and we'll better now just have these penned in through here permanently. And we're just going to assign those animals that were outside. So the horse, the water buffalo, the rabbit, and the two yaks. They're both bulls. I sort of want these because, and I might even put Deagle the bunny just so it's not running around the place. We'll just put all of them in here. It's a very, very small area for this. We may have to then, this is temporary. We're going to have to find a bigger area for these or create a butcher shop. And I think I'll actually do that. I'll probably sort of do butchering in one of the future episodes. So that gets our fortress. Now we've been speaking about security. That then is now the Burrows security of our fortress. And what we can do is I'm just going to go and press Alt minus. Again, I've got the FPS turned on down in here. I'm thinking there's going to be something bad happening. Quite often when a undead army comes at you, you won't see them until they're right on top of you. And so that's what I'm half assuming that's what it's going to be, is a big siege from the undead. And only when we first see them will we start to sort of realise what the problem is. So to do this, I'd like to turn the game down from 100 down to around about between 10 and 20, somewhere in there. And when we've got real big combats going on, I tend to then turn it down to about 8 or 7 for the FPS. And I'll just show you how to do that one. The first thing, just go to your settings, back up through this side. By the way, when you go to, even when you put it down to to a small number, if you go back to settings, it will then reset to whatever the settings are that you've got selected. Just go to settings in through here, and you'll sort of see under game, if you just scroll down, you'll then find on its own is show frames per second. Do yes when you're going to do this. You don't have to have it on all the time. I leave it on all the time now because I do this a lot. And then you've got like the game frames per second default is 100. So you can sort of then just change things. So that will be the default when you come back out of here. We just click on done, and so that will then sort of show the frames per second at the bottom there. And then to bring this one down to a number where things aren't going to go crazy for you, just press the Alt and then the minus key. And you'll see it just coming down. I'm just holding it and I'm just tapping it just to bring it down to, that'll do me, about 14 frames per second. The actual game frame per second will come down. The game actually uses frame per second for everything. Now, most games use timers when they're actually being built. I don't know any other games that actually use frames anymore. The game itself is quite old, but it actually works well with Dwarf Fortress. Every tick or every frame that goes past is an event that can actually then happen, and you can get a lot of things happening in a very short time frame. So bring it down to something that is controllable. Let's just see what she now does. We're just going to go and press. Now she's dropped her logs. Great. She was carrying logs up to the top to go and start to build that wall. She's now dropped them, and she should now be going back inside. This is not one of our guys, Domus, the spear dwarf, so he can stay where he is. And what about Alath, the planter, is now also going back to have a snooze. She is going back to, got no job, but she's going to move into the burrows. Now, another thing we want to do over here is I'm now concerned if we don't lock this one down, we may have a problem. Actually, that's the other thing I was going to show was the making doubly sure that our fisher dwarfs, nobody does that one, good, and nobody's been assigned to it, and also hunters. And we don't want the hunters, so nobody does this. I don't want hunters going outside. I'm so concerned about the dangers that I have in my start because of that. What was he called again? I forget his name. Anyway, whatever his name was. Got it on a piece of paper here. The Hands of Uthalagastas. So the Hands of Uthalagastas is something that could be that, for example. And I don't want our guys out there when that thing's around. So we're going to turn off hunters. So nobody does hunting, nobody does fishing. These are forbidden. They're not allowed to do it. And so we'll just leave them where they are. Now, eventually what I could do is actually create a fishing area in my water pit. I don't know if they'd catch fish there because it's sort of, maybe they would eventually. Eventually I think there would be fish that could be caught there. We might just leave that though for a little while and just sort of see how that one does go. So anyway, that's all been done, and plant gatherers, nobody does this either at this stage because we don't want them going upstairs and outside. It's just too dangerous. So that's important, turning off those little tasks. So again, just to recap with that, and what I want to do here is make sure that I can block my fortress off if I have to. I might change these as well. I'm going to leave that one tied up. It's sacrificing the dog, unfortunately, if there's a problem. Ultimately, I should have tied the dog up in here. I'm going to bring these guys across into the other pen as well. They don't eat anything. Just go back into this pen or pasture, just because we may be opening this one up for potential problems. So we've got the stray dog, which I'm going to leave that one out. What else do we have? We had the guinea cock and the peahen. The cats are already in a different area. That's all okay. All right, that's fine. You've got to be super careful in this game if you're really trying to keep it secure. Like you just got to think all the little eventualities, like how can something get in and what sort of damage can it do. Now, Ultimately, we can lock this down, but let's just see if we can get the animals inside first. So we'll go back up the top. I'll just press F1 because this is, and it'll be just interesting to see what comes out of this side here. Now, will they go downstairs? They're moving off. It's a rabbit. He hasn't seen anything yet. Come on, guys, get inside. Is the rabbit going to move up and in? It's on extremely slow at the moment. Rabbit's going down. What about you guys? Come on, up you come. Yeah, they're quite freaked out. It's no longer concerned. Am I being overly cautious here? I just don't know. Let's just wait and see. We're not going to see anything here as such. It can sort of sneak around. It can be right on top of us before we know it. Now they've moved way off. There's still been no interaction, but something spooked them. I'm being super cautious here because of that potentially that undead experiment. Now, will they start? They will eventually start to come back up. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'll just keep it going forward a little bit. There's still no battling going on anywhere. We'll just go back down and just double check that rabbit. Has that rabbit made it in? Not the rabbit I don't really care about. It's more these other big animals. I'd like to get them inside if we can do it. Everyone else is inside there. Didn't see the rabbit. Just pause for a second and have a bit of a look. Actually, he's the only one in there. Okay, so Deagle has made it. That's the tame bunny, and we're starting to now get sort of like tower caps and things like this. But eventually, this will become okay for the animals. Okay. Yeah, there's a rabbit. He's still coming down through there. That's good. So he's on his way down. I'll just stay up the top here and just watch for any sort of interaction. What I might do is I might just pause the game until we actually have something. That way you're not sort of getting too spooked by my being spooked. Okay, the animals are now all starting to move inside. So that's looking okay. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was nothing. All right, I might turn the... I might still keep them inside. And I might sort of now open up the fortress again. So, Burrows again. Let's now go back and specify probably the wall around here to start with. Now, some creatures can really, really go hard at different things as well. Like they can jump over walls and all sorts of things. Like there's really weird and wonderful creatures in the game. We won't know that until we're actually there. So, yeah, we're still waiting on that one to be set. So why is that one there? That open space, I'm not sure what that is for. Anyway, that's okay. We'll just keep that one going. So they're now going to head on down, which is great. So at least we get to keep the animals as such, although they are a good source of early warning if a combat does start away from where you're looking. Let's go back and just set up the so that all of these then resume construction just around this area. Yep, that's okay. That one's all right. Resume. I'm just going to go through and manually do this one, and I'm then just going to go back and open up the fortress. So let's just go and do all of these. So we can get half of this thing done, and sort of then block it in as well. Yeah, I sort of almost don't. I don't really want the like the doctor to come out and do this. We may need the doctor to do what it's going to do. There's still nothing around. I might just go to others and just make doubly sure that there's nothing showing up. There's a troll, but this will be down below. So we've still got that troll wandering around. It's not going to be upstairs on its own. The cow moose, that could have been it. It's down the bottom here though. It's not. This is a wild animal. I don't think that would have spooked my animals. So I don't think that would have been the issue. The dogs would have gone after it. They would have chased after it. But our guys wouldn't. That wouldn't be the case. All right. Let's just. I'm assuming it's up in here somewhere. Whatever it actually was that freaked them out. Let's open up the fortress. We'll just go back to our burrows again, and we now essentially say, okay, guys, you're allowed back outside again. So we've now opened up all of this. Let's just go and raise the amounts again. So I'll get it up to around about, say, 50. So we get a bit more speed. And we just double check that they are coming up. Yeah, they're still on their way down, which is fine. Here they come. So the carpenter is, yep, so he's going to help pen and pasture this one. This is the chief medical dwarf. He's going to pen and pasture that particular one as well. That's fine. So we'll just go back up the top and just wait for them to come back up. I'll just pause and then we'll wait. I'll pause the game until we sort of see anything that does actually happen here. Okay, so we've now just gone and mined out this little zone in through this side. I might just put this one and resume construction of that one as well. And so we've now got this area for our next lot of blocks. So let's just go across and go and build those. So we just go across into constructions, and these will just be ramps. And ramps are always up. So we just go to there, and I'll just make these out of limestone. So I'll just make them. So both of those those blocks will now be made out of limestone. This will then just neaten up this whole little area. I've now resumed the removal of this particular area. You're still not getting nothing coming back through. Now what it may be is that they don't have the ability to go and grab these. I'm not sure why that's the case. So if we have a bit of a look at the tasks again. All of these. So they should be, yeah, eventually someone will come up and do these. Everyone's just too busy, I think. So we'll allow those to continue on. And I will pause again until we get some more interaction. Okay, let's have a bit of a look down back in here again at our inn. So we'll just go back into here and have a bit of a look at the parameters. So we've got 3 chests in there now. We do actually have the 10 desired goblets that are actually now in this location. We don't have any stored instruments as such, so even though we've got the musical instrument erected down there, it's actually not really, it's going to add to the value of the room, but not to what's required. So we need to eventually make some of these. I won't rush to do that. Dance floor is now a 6x7, so, and the rented rooms, we don't have anyone actually renting those rooms just yet. Again, I don't want to be putting a tavern keeper or a performer in just yet. I've got a fair few people now down here socialising, which is great. I think we'll now go and get we'll just make it so we can put some food down in this side. So let's just go back across. We've now got some tables, so we'll just go to tables. And we'll add in, actually what I might do is I'll just do it the other way. I'll get the chairs on the other side. I think that'll sort of work out a bit better. That way you can watch the dancing. So we'll look across the table at the dancing. So we'll just go across to furniture and tables. So what a dwarf likes to, when they're going to eat, they don't want to be sharing a table, even though you can have chairs on the other side. Microline, that will do. Eventually we'll get really good quality tables and things in here. And that's all we can do at this stage. Okay, so we now go across furniture and then thrones. Whoops, where are we? Chairs. All right, and so even with that planned like this, if we now go back and have another look, we're going to start to see the dancing area is now just a 6x5. That's still actually okay. I think a 5x5 is what the ideal, that's the minimum ideal. But you can have less than that, but a 6x5 is actually reasonable, so that's actually good. Again, if we got rid of that, we'd then end up with a lot more. So we'd end up with a 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so a 7x6 if we move that one up. But let's just keep it all where it is for now. As I say, the rooms haven't been rented yet. And really, we've got so many tasks that have to be done. So until it's all done, really we just want to be going and just letting them do their own thing. Nobody is building these walls at this stage. So nothing at all has been sort of queued up for construction. Now, if I've got a problem with this, what I can do is, I'll show you this one as the back end of this particular one. I still don't know if there's anything outside. I'm still worried about that. But we can go back into our tasks, and I'm thinking, okay, who's expendable? So who do we don't want to die? You don't want a doctor basically going upstairs and doing that if we can help it. So we're just going to go across to our labour menu, and we'll go and create a new mode. Now, the leather worker, he's sort of expendable. Who else is expendable out of this list? In fact, that's everyone really. We've got a farmer, that they're not so much. Woodcutter, we've got a fair few carpenters and woodcutters, so we could actually do. Let's make some of the woodcutters dedicated to just doing. Actually, we don't want mining, so I've got it selected on mining at the moment. If I go to, I'm going to create a new work detail, and so with the one that I'm going to do through here, I'm going to make this one a dedicated one for building. So if you just go to, it's all in different groups. So fishing related, metalsmithing related, jewelry, crafts. I haven't looked for this one, but I'm assuming that will actually be good. Hauling. So is there anyone, the other jobs? Cleaning, lever operation, road building, wall and floor construction. So let's make this one into a builder. So we'll just go across and we'll select that one. Road building, we'll make that as well. So this will all be construction. Lever operation, no, we can have a dedicated lever operator if we needed to. Cleaning, yeah, I won't worry about that one either. So just that one there is enough for me. So I'm just going to go click on done. Now this one will then have the name that we can then go and change. And so I'll just call these ones builders. But so I'll just press enter. And so what this one does, I could still have everyone does this, but what I can say to the others is I want to have this woodcutter assigned to just that, and this woodcutter as well. So they're both now assigned to this builders tab as well as doing this through this side. In fact, I can make the leather worker dedicated. Now I can say to them, don't do anything else other than this. So you can do these two tasks, but don't do anything else for now. So this way I'm forcing them. Once they finish their current job, I'm forcing them to go up and build what we need. And so they're sort of our most expendable. So let's just go and do that. And we should then sort of see if we have a look at them. Like if we have a look at the leather worker, which is Lee Cotton through this side, he's making a rock door at the moment. If we just go and have a look and see where he is. So he's in there. He'll eventually finish making the rock wall and then charge off upstairs. Just let him do it. He'll get there eventually. He's spending a lot of time with this rock. He might be doing the whole lot. Let's just let him continue on for a little bit longer. What about the others? Is that that's the woodcutter? Still storing items in stockpile. Now they may finish off their current job, and the rock is slow. Now he's gone. Okay, so he's now gone up. Let's just go up and see if we can find him. There he goes. So he's now going to go and construct the building. So we'll just go and follow him up. No one else is doing this. So any sort of construction, up he goes, builds that one, goes back down, picks up the piece of log, goes back up again. Next one as well. Awesome. Down he goes. Now the other ones we have outside can also then go and do other things as well. So he's hauling the bayberry wood logs, constructing more of the building. This will help us, our security, a lot by having this. Now I do need to get more logs downstairs. Oh, when we've got a little tree like that, it will then, here he goes, he's now going across to pick things up. A bit more dangerous. Build those. So off he goes. Well guys, I think I'll call it quits here. And he's going back down. He's hauling limestone up. Now he's going to go and construct these. Actually, no, he did that bit of flooring. Okay, good. They're actually now sort of, see, they're now dedicated to building. So this is actually exactly what we want. And what I can now go and do is, while this is all happening, I can just go into my furniture area, just go, not furniture, I can go into my building, doors, and just go and place another door in here. So I'm just going to go with a hornblende door. Now at the moment it's very easy for anything to scale over the top, and they can just walk straight through this side. You can't build from the inside out through here, you have to be on the outside, but this is going to be okay. So this is the first step. If we can get this secure, this will help us enormously. And I might just focus on this little area first before we do anything. So he's now going down to pick up, to build that little ramp that we spoke about. So I'll just let him do that as well. And then what we can do, once he's actually built this one, we then actually have, when we go back up again, we now have a ramp that leads down. So we can now get rid of this area over here, just for neatness sake. So we'll just go and get rid of that as well. So this is now an actual ramp that's leading down into the area. Now these guys here are still constructing buildings, and that one's constructing buildings as well. So these were the other woodcutters that we actually had. So we're starting to now get, you can see we're starting to get like a bit of a stockade built around this particular area. So I can start to, once I get to this next layer up, I can then start to sort of do other things. So I'm going to go and start to also get them to construct with constructions in through here, stairs. I'm going to have a stair that goes up 2 levels. I'm just going to go and click and go up 2 levels. And I'm going to make this out of mudstone. That'll be okay. And so they'll eventually go and build that as well. So someone's going to chomp that out. Good, we now actually have a full area back in through this side. She's probably removing this, I would guess. They chomped that one out. Let's just go back down. Build, constructions, ramps. And this is limestone. Here he comes again. He's actually constructing this little area. Rock rings are completed. There's a lot of things that they're not quite able to do. So this is good. She's almost done through here. Almost done, almost done. There we are. So we now have this area. Now what we want to do through this side is actually create a drawbridge that goes down and opens up straight out into this area. So we'll just go into construction again. Bridges, raising to the top. Across that zone, just a little 3 zone through that side. I've got limestone right there. Actually, I might make this one out of logs, just so we've got it sort of, it's a wooden drawbridge. And they can get that one built as well. So by having dedicated builders, when I need this stuff done, we can get it done. Hope that all makes sense. I think I'm going to leave it here, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll come back. I'll let the game run forward a little bit. We've got some security through here. In fact, these have now been built. They're not the top one. But we can now start to work on what we need to do on this particular layer. So I'm going to need to now get some flooring. So it's already picking up snow through here. It's midwinter. So this is a bit more secure than what we had before, but still very, very open. It means that creatures can still either climb over or even jump over this. There are some sort of very, very leaping type enemies that we won't be wanting to avoid, and so that will be what they can then do. So we'll just go across. This is still all very, very vulnerable, of course. We'll just go back across into here again and just go to build. In this case, we just want to put flooring down. So we just go across to floors. In fact, I might do this one in the next episode. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you then.